Hi guys, Lewis here with your 3 simple steps, and today we're going to be talking all about the best diet and how to create the best diet. The most common question that I get from clients, from people emailing me, from social media questions, etc., is always which is the best diet to do for fat loss, exercise, whatever it is. So the thing is that the honest answer that there is no best diet, and that to establish the best diet is that you have to basically create your own based on your own results. And so we have to understand that we're all unique, and essentially diets will have a different response to different people, you know, depending on their bodies and how they utilize that on a physiological level. So we have to start thinking now and appreciating that one size certainly doesn't fit all. There are obviously some kind of general rules that would always help, you know, with regards to how much saturated fat we're going to be taking in, with regards to how much sugar that we're going to be taking in, but with regards to what's going to be best, then really it's all down for you to discover. So today I'm going to help you with that, and I'm going to give you 3 key steps that you can utilize to create the best diet for you. The first thing that we need to do in terms of a start point is really create a well-balanced diet, and there's so much lacking in so many diets that you hear of these days, which is wrong essentially. And we've got to look at really giving your body the best nutritional profile that we possibly can from the foods that you take in. So you need to start thinking now about creating a balance within your food group, and making sure that you have plenty of what we call macronutrients and plenty of micronutrients, and also trying to get, you know, really good healthy fats in there, the likes of the omega-3, omega-6 and 9. So what does that look like? So essentially it looks as though we have, if you think about macronutrients, so they're your proteins, your carbohydrates, and they're your fats. So they're things, you know, such as, you know, your meat and your fish, eggs, etc., really good and high in protein, some good fats there as well, and especially from your lean meat. So really kind of focus on that from a protein content point of view, but then also start thinking as well about the carbohydrates and the carbohydrate sources that we've got, typically in the form of different forms of vegetables. You can also look at the likes of rice and pasta. Some people can get some really bad responses to some starchy carbohydrates, so the likes of, you know, the pasta and potatoes, etc. So have a think about that with regards to it, but otherwise look at a good form of vegetables, and then also start thinking about your micronutrients. Okay, so they are basically your vitamins and minerals, which are going to come from everything that's on your plate anyway. So when you're looking at your diet, just make sure that you've got a good balance between all of them there, and that is going to be your start point of actually creating the best diet for you. Now start thinking about how you feel when you eat these foods, and how you feel from an energy point of view, and start looking at it and start tracking that. So if you say, for example, you go for 1 month and you've got a balanced diet and everything's going fine and you feel really good and you feel energized, and you start to see some changes, some physical changes. It might be that you start to get stronger in the gym, or it might be that you're starting to run faster, it might be more body fat, whatever it is that's basically giving you a real good beneficial effect from the foods that you are taking in. So if that's working well, then stick to it and just keep going with that, and just monitor and track how things are going for you from a physical point of view of how you feel and how you look and how you perform. And if it all stays good, then just stick to what you're doing. If things aren't changing direction for you, so your body isn't changing, or you're feeling a bit lousy, then it's time now to start experimenting with your food and start changing the ratios of some of the nutrients that you've got on your plate. It might be that you need to have more carbohydrate or less carbohydrate, it might be more protein, it might be more fats, more good fats, and it might be just a combination of all of that. So it might be that the total amount of calories that you're taking in and consuming isn't enough, or it's too much. So it's just really about you now kind of trialing that, monitoring what it is that you're eating and seeing whether you're getting results. And then if you are getting results, then great, then stick to it. And if you're not, then we need to start looking at changing that, which brings me on to step 3. Now we've got to start looking at how to tweak the diet, and tweaking is a key to getting your diet spot on and creating that perfect diet for you. So if you look at the likes of your protein intake or your carbohydrate intake, and if you're eating maybe say too many vegetables and too much starchy carbohydrate and you're feeling a little bit lousy, then look at decreasing that slightly and then see how you feel from there. And if you're decreasing in one area, then maybe slightly increase in another area. So increase protein protein slightly as well if you're going to be doing that. Look at maybe trialing your fats as well and see how your fats go. So it might be that you need to bring in more good fats. Yeah, it might be that you need to look at eating more nuts, for example. That will really help with that side of things. You maybe need to eat more oily fish, and just really try and increase that from that side. But it's down to you to play with it. You know, it's all about experimentation to see what's going to work best for you. The thing that you don't want to do is change it too much. Don't change it drastically, because then your body might start changing and you're not going to know what's going to be working for you. So it's all about just little tweaks within your diet. So maybe cut out a little bit of carbohydrate, maybe increase a little bit of protein, maybe increase a little bit of fat. Maybe if it's from like a body fat perspective, that you need to decrease calorific intake a little bit more. But you need to experiment with that, and it's down to you to play with it. So just track it and monitor it, and then once you're feeling the different changes and you're getting results, then you've hit it from that point. So tweaking is a really, really important part, and tracking is obviously key with that as well. So make sure that you really do that you focus on the elements of the changes in the ratios of proteins, carbs and fats, and then if you can change that and then get a great result, then keep it going. You're doing well. So they were my 3 tips for how you can create the perfect diet. It's all about, you know, tracking, and it's all about experimentation. You start off with a balanced diet and really play around with it from that point onwards. And you should always be looking really around about every 4 weeks is looking for some form of result and seeing how that is making a change to your life. And if it's not, as I've said to you, just tweak it there. So give it a good go, and I'd love to know how you're getting on with it. Please, you know, send us any kind of comments if you are getting some great results, or if you're not and you want some help, then, you know, just simply email me on lewis@lewisbailey.co.uk. Okay, or obviously you can call us at the office, okay, on this number just here, and we'll help you out the very best that we can. So give that a go, and we'll see you soon.